I think from my experience of working in communities, prior to my role, it was very clear to see that young people were saying, where is youth work gone? Where are the opportunities that I used to kind of take up, I used to get involved in? Where are the youth workers who used to come visit us in the parks? We lost a lot of youth work, which had a very serious impact on young people's lives.
We are the Belonging Plymouth Youth Group, and this is our documentary. We are a group of 10 young people from Plymouth who have been meeting regularly to discuss issues we face every day within the city and how we hope to bring about change for future generations. Over the course of this film, we will explore what life is like for young people in Plymouth. We conducted interviews with young people as well as politicians, university lecturers and key community figures to understand how we can bring about positive change for the next generation. We look into various topics such as the issues around designated spaces and activities for young people, how funding cuts and staff shortages have influenced this, and the effect that positive youth work can have on a young person going into adulthood.
Nowadays, they've got nothing. We used to have dance troops. We had The Junction, we had Pippa and Bill McCoy, we had really good youth workers. These guys have got nothing. I know you guys float about, but you are very wide breadth, and it's not enough for the area.
I mean, unfortunately, there's so few community centres around now. If you looked at about 10 years ago, how many community centres were in Plymouth, for example, compared to now, I think you'd be shocked.
From 2005 to 2019, Plymouth lost 2/3 of its youth centres, whilst the total population of young people in the city increased. This has had a huge detrimental impact on young people across the city, with Plymouth already having 11,000 children living in poverty.
There's certainly a lot less than there used to be. I think austerity really kind of reduced the amount of youth work that was going on in communities, and we haven't been able to get a lot of that back, so there is a lot less.
But I think in the winter and that, and the kids have got nowhere to go, I think they need a barn and that. They need more places to go and that. Because when it's raining and that, we've got nowhere to go. We sit in co-op and that, and you just get in trouble for literally no reason, just sitting in there. You get a police called on you get ASBOs. My little brother even got an ASBO as well from sitting down co-op, and he was in year 5.
We could chill down at car wash or something. They used to let us inside to chill down there, but that's a company that we need a real space that we can sit in. Most of the community is, I would say, a negative because of just the use around here, and not a lot of stuff's changed. And if we can get a space that young people can go to, that's a really big change that can happen. I won't go out anymore, and that's a really, really negative thing because I'd love to go out, but there's no space or anything that we could go to or me and my mates could chill out in.
I think I look at, obviously as a mum now, I look at all the younger people and I just think, you've got literally nothing to do, you're bored. You know what I mean? You're going to cause trouble because you're bored. But I also think that people just, they just don't see these young people. They just think, they're troublemakers, they're out to cause hassle, they aren't good people, they're horrible. And actually they're not, they're actually good people. If you speak to a child that's, a menace, they're absolutely fine usually. They're usually really nice people, one-to-one, but it's just when they're in a big group, they're like, let's play up because we have nothing to do. If you give them something to do, they'll be all right, do you know what I mean?
It's as soon as you see a big group of kids, you automatically think, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because it's stereotypical to there's something going on, there's a fight, there's something there, there's something there. But
sometimes it's just people having fun because there's nothing for them to do.
Well, there's no place for you to go, is there? So closest place to go is down the local park.
Park, town centre, state park, anywhere really.
Yeah.
They find the opportunities, and then those opportunities are getting lessened and lessened by people who are ruining it for others.
Yeah.
Throughout our research, we found that a lack of adequate space to be a recurrent issue affecting young people. They feel they have no safe space to be themselves, hang out with friends and grow as people.
So do you believe that in Plymouth there should be more support for young people?
Yeah, because when we go out, we don't really have anywhere to go. We always just end up sitting at school. Or at field. We had Eufy, and it got shut down out of nowhere.
No, it got shut down from people that don't even come to Eufy anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is this in Whitley?
Yeah, the Whitley Youth.
Someone kicked down the door.
Yeah.
And it wasn't us.
So you think it's unfair that some young people ruin something for you guys, which you guys
they don't even go here anymore. Yeah, we're the ones who actually wanted to go. That's why we still go here. Yeah, I've got to travel, got to make our money as well. Okay.
Do you think?
I'd walk.
If there's nothing to do, when everyone's hanging out there, we'd sit on our phones on the swing and we just decide to go home. There's nothing else. All at one. Yeah.
They were just nothing like Finland at all.
Because of how many times, because it's in the area, because of how many, we've been there for a while, so it just goes on right now, because we've got to repeat the same stuff we did.
I think we need more spaces for young people in Plymouth, because right now there isn't a lot. Companies get shut down a lot, but there aren't being replacements for them. I'd like to see definitely less people, like young people in groups, just walking around the streets. I'd like to know that they all have a safe space and that everything will go well for them in the future, rather than them dealing with going around the streets, young people going under the influence of drugs and stuff because they have nothing better to do. I want them to have the space and the excitement and being able to get out and do stuff in a safe environment. And a lot of people who have the capability of opening spaces aren't getting the funding for it.
Our research highlighted lack of funding as another major issue affecting young people in Plymouth. We wanted to get different perspectives on this from around the city.
This is the problem with short-term funding, and always it's a problem for us as well, and for every group. You know, even community sector groups like ourselves, we have to fight for funding to provide youth groups, if you like. It doesn't come for free. So we have to employ qualified staff, premises, you've got risk assessments, you've got lots of things that have to go in place for those youth groups to happen. And staff, trained staff, which are being lost across the sector, and it's a big problem.
I don't think there's enough funding, and I think over the years we've seen funding being cut to our youth services hugely, but there is other organisations out there, other grants and things like that we can tap into, that we need to help our young people, to give them something to do. And it's not all about playing snooker in a church hall, is it? It's about all different things. So yes, funding's been cut and it has a major impact, but I think there's other ways we can work with our young people. It's about listening to what they want.
And there is support out there, but for me, living in the area I currently live in, there isn't as much support there as there should be for people. And sort of, I would like to be able to live in the area I do live in without the fear of sort of like when I go out and about with my Tourette's. Like, I have been in physical altercations before, and I've been in quite difficult situations because I've gone out into my areas, I've ticked and said something, and then that's led to me being in physical altercations with people, whether that's older people or people my age. And what I really what I strive for, to be honest, is to be able to, like, what my hope is for the future for my area is I can one day wake up and not have that fear of sort of going out and thinking like I have to be sort of careful and so closely guarded to myself. It's not necessarily there isn't enough people. There are certainly people who want to do this, and some amazing people I know who run groups and stuff like John and so on, who do these youth groups and stuff, but I do feel like there isn't enough support for them to be able to do it, if that makes sense. And I do feel like that there definitely needs to be more support for these people who want to do these things, to be able to do these things to help us young people.
We spoke to young people within our group about the impact that youth work has had on their lives and the benefits of having more youth work.
I feel like the youth work that goes on here is different to like other youth work, and you're allowed to be you're allowed to build relationships with your youth workers, and it's not kind of like they're trying to get stuff out of you and then just move along, which I think is why a lot of young people probably don't go to youth groups, because obviously there's like a stereotype of like young people don't get on with a lot of adults because of like things that are said about young people, which I think puts young people going to them because they don't feel like that they can be themselves and be young people around that.
Well, there's so many like strong voices here, and obviously I've got a strong voice, and knowing that we can put our voices out there and like bond over everything that we've done together. We've all been through different things. We all just been through the same kind of things. So it's nice to have that kind of community where they won't judge you or anything, and that you can all just have a laugh, get on with things, like, and be comfortable with it.
Our dance teacher not only also teaches dance, so we're still there for us. She's like, what's going on? You seem a bit down today.
Yes.
What's going on at home? And she catches up on you to make sure that you're okay. How are you doing? Or for example, if you need to be picked up or something like that, she will, if she can, she will offer to come pick you up, drop you places.
Yeah.
She gets everything sorted for us to make sure that we have the opportunities to do what we want.
Yeah.
And
also like, she always cares like us as like people, and also like our safety and stuff like that.
Yeah, and for doing that, we repay her with being there, going to the opportunities she has for us, and giving our support to the company and what she does.
Youth work is about developing a way of living and a way of being a part of the world. So if you take that away from young people, that is ultimately going to impact on their lives, because they're not going to meet so many people. They're not being part of that community. You know, community centres were places often where there was quite a lot of conflict, but it you know, particularly between different generations, but at the same time it brought people together. You had older people using the community centre, you had young people using the community centre, you had all sorts of other groups kind of going on. It was a hub for life in a community.
I think there's been a lot of times where I didn't have youth work and I don't have people to support me, like probably wouldn't be where I am today. And I think like that shows with who I am, definitely. And I think like a lot of people that I know as well, before youth work, like you can tell that they've changed now that they've had that support and like those experiences within coming to like a youth group. Whereas like before they're kind of not, like I can't see them going very far before being involved in like things that we do. It's kind of like if you don't have, again, like that role model of someone to look up to, I feel like that's what youth groups are good for, because they show you like right from wrong and they show you like good pathways instead of going down wrong.
So I feel like youth is important to me because it's actually helped me, like, you know, get a job and stuff, because John's there to help me build a CV. He tells me what's needed and what's not needed in it. He can help out with other stuff as well. For example, we're at Mountbatten right now. It gives us all like a new experience for people that haven't done it, and it gets people out there instead of sitting indoors and stuff.
Another outcome of our research was the miscommunication in the activities happening in Plymouth and how they're communicated to young people. We found that many young people aren't aware of the activities that are being put on in their areas.
I spoke to a group of young people yesterday who were telling me about their experience of growing up and living in Plymouth and what they like about Plymouth and what they wish was better for them here. And a recurring theme is there's not enough going on for young people, and I accept that, and that's definitely something we need to work on. But actually what also came out of it was that when I told them, for instance, about events connected to the National Marine Park or Seafest, they didn't know about them. So I think there's a challenge there for us as a council to look at how we're communicating actually quite a lot of the stuff that's going on, because we don't want young people to miss out.
For me, it's about supporting the community networks that already exist. I think there are fantastic people in this space, and you know, Connecting Youth is one of those organisations, but it's about how can we support them, and how can we also raise awareness amongst families and parents of young people that there are these opportunities out there, and there are fantastic provisions being put on, but I find that families don't always know about them. So a large part of it for me is about how can we communicate to different parts of our communities that actually there are opportunities to get young people into, whether it's sport or new hobbies, but sometimes we struggle to make that known.
I don't know whether
maybe in our work that we do, whether every young person in the city knows about it, and can we get to a point where every young person in the city knows exactly what opportunities are available and what are the best ways to communicate that with young people. We've always traditionally communicated through like flyers and going into schools, but is that the right way now? Are we going to engage with young people in that way? Is that how young people want to be engaged with? So I think part of the question is asking young people what they want, but also how do they want to hear about opportunities? Do they want to know through social media, or do they want to know through us turning up at their school?
In conclusion, this documentary highlights the critical need for better support and opportunities for young people in our communities.
Addressing this issue requires practical action, investing in accessible programs, creating spaces where young people feel valued, and ensuring mental health is a priority. Supporting the next generation isn't just about their future, it strengthens our communities today. Change starts with recognising their needs and taking steps to meet them.